Smithfield's been a partner in South Dakota's economy for over 100 years. Matter of fact, my grandfather actually worked in that plant. He sold hogs there, my father sold hogs there, I've sold hogs there. So when you think of that generational lineage and the importance that this plant has been to the state of South Dakota and the people of the tri-state region, it's hard to overstate that value that they provided to agriculture, but also the value in the payroll and the jobs that have helped build Sioux Falls and the surrounding region communities.
Smithfield, and previously John Morrell, is really the first major company that put down roots in Sioux Falls. And so when you think of Sioux Falls, Smithfield really is one of the first companies you think of.
The best people that I know are out there working in this plant on those lines. These people would go out of their way to help anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Our ability to be successful really relies on community support. And one of the great things about Smithfield is that their support comes in a variety of ways. When we see a company support us in all the other ways, in volunteering and giving dollars and in just doing drives and donating food, it means that they want to do all that they can to support our mission, and they believe in our work just as much as we do.
South Dakota, on pork-producing states, has far and away the largest percentage of private ownership. For them, it represents security. They've had a stable market for over 100 years.
Smithfield's been a strong supporter of South Dakota Pork Producers Council. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job at being strong supporters and generosity. And I have a really good relationship with my buyer on the farm and cultivated relationships with them to the point where I consider us real close friends today.
When you really look at what they've done for our state and what it says about our state to rely on a company that long, I think is really significant.
What's the next 100 years going to bring for Smithfield, for Sioux Falls, for South Dakota? There's going to be a lot of changes that come, and I look forward to the future.
While we've worked with Smithfield for 115 years, my hope is that we have another 115 years ahead of us in a new chapter.
Good morning. When I got here this morning, I asked Mayor Ten Haken, do you think there'll be enough people to fill the seats? I think that question's been answered. So thank you all for joining us today for this very exciting announcement. I'm Shane Smith, President and CEO of Smithfield Foods. We are here today to celebrate a significant investment in Sioux Falls and in American agriculture, and I'm glad that you're here with us. But before I get to that, I do need to let you know that certain statements that I make today are forward-looking, so please refer to our press release and our SEC filings for a discussion of factors that could cause actual outcomes to differ. So now that my legal department is happy. So as many of you know from our long-standing presence here, Smithfield is an American food company with a leading position in packaged meats and fresh pork products. We produce good food responsibly to meet demand for quality protein. We have built customer loyalty through some of the most well-known and well-loved brands in the U.S., retail, food service, and including Smithfield, Eckrich, and Nathan's Famous, among many others. We serve 100% of the top 10 ranked national grocery retailers, 70% of the top 50 ranked national food service chains, and all of the top food service distributors in the United States. Our headquarters are in Smithfield, Virginia, and it has remained there since our founding 90 years ago. We have deep roots in U.S. agriculture with more than 32,000 employees and strong relationships with thousands of American farmers. Smithfield and John Morrell have been an integral part of the Sioux Falls community for more than 100 years. In 1909, John Morrell and Company started operating in a leased building in Sioux Falls and began construction a year later on the plant that currently houses Smithfield's operations. Our pork processing facility on Weber Avenue is the second largest in our network, We process nearly 20,000 hogs there every day, sourced primarily from regional independent hog farmers. Our 3,200 Sioux Falls employees expertly produce high-quality fresh pork, bacon, boneless hams, hot dogs, and fresh sausage for our customers throughout the United States and throughout the world. We are one of the largest employers in the area, offering good jobs with competitive pay and benefits, and we pay more than $200 million annually in wages here in Sioux Falls. We have made numerous investments and upgrades to our Sioux Falls facility over the years, and it has served us well. But in order to continue to grow our business and better leverage advanced technology, we reached a point where we would have to either make significant renovations to our 100-year-old Sioux Falls facility or build a new plant. As we evaluated our options, we had many productive discussions and conversations with the city and the state about Smithfield's plans for future growth. And we've worked together collaboratively to find a path forward to continue our operations and our presence here in South Dakota. In the end, it became clear that it was time to make a significant investment in the future. So today, I'm excited to announce that Smithfield plans to make a significant investment to build a new state-of-the-art fresh pork and packaged meats processing facility from the ground up. We are planning to build at a location in Foundation Park at the intersection of I-29 and I-90 that will replace our current Sioux Falls plant, which has played a central role in the regional economy here for more than 100 years. Of course, like any project of this kind, our investment is contingent on securing required permits and other regulatory approvals, as well as approval for a final facility design by the Smithfield Board of Directors. Foundation Park, Sioux Falls' manufacturing hub and South Dakota's largest industrial park, is an ideal location for Smithfield's operations. It is well situated north of the city at the intersection of two major highways and provides rail access. Moving from our current location to Foundation Park outside of downtown is a win-win solution that creates a generational redevelopment opportunity for the city of Sioux Falls. Construction of the new facility in Foundation Park is slated to begin in the first half of 2027, and we are targeting to begin operations at the end of 2028. Investing in this new world-class facility supports Smithfield's long-term strategy of continuing to grow and optimize our value-added packaged meats and fresh pork operations, and to deliver innovation, convenience, and value to our customers. The new facility will be the most modern of its kind in the U.S., featuring advanced automation technology and IT systems. It will be the largest combined packaged meats and fresh pork processing facility in Smithfield's network, with more than 1.1 million square feet of production space, and will deliver efficiency gains to Smithfield's fresh pork and packaged meats operations. Jobs at the new facility will include higher skilled positions and will offer improved workflow and efficiency. We are proud of the 3,200 Sioux Falls employees and the outstanding work that they do to produce the food that consumers consume all across the country and around the world. When the new facility opens, our employees will be coming to work in the most modern, technologically advanced facility in the entire country. This is also a generational investment in the future of American agriculture that will support thousands of direct and indirect jobs in Sioux Falls, as well as the many independent hog farmers, corn and soybean meal producers, and other agricultural sectors that fuel the pork supply chain in South Dakota and in the surrounding region. To give you an idea of Smithfield's impact on agriculture throughout the state and the region, we process more than 28 million hogs annually in the U.S. 10,000 hog farms located in 30 states produce and raise the pigs that we harvest. The vast majority of the hogs that we process here in Sioux Falls are raised by independent hog producers in South Dakota and the surrounding states. We operate 46 grain elevators and feed mills across the U.S. in 10 states, where we buy grain from 4,500 independent farmers. We purchase approximately 130 million bushels of corn and wheat and 1 million tons of soybean meal annually from thousands of corn and soybean meal farmers who grow the primary feed ingredients for our hogs. Smithfield purchases almost 1% of the typical U.S. annual corn crop and 2% of the typical U.S. soybean meal production. The investment that we're announcing today will ensure that Smithfield remains rooted in Sioux Falls for years to come and continues our 100-plus year partnership with the Sioux Falls community. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Sioux Falls, for Smithfield's employees, and the many farmers who supply hogs and grain to our operations. I am extremely grateful for the partnership and commitment of so many people who have worked tirelessly to make this vision a reality. I would like to thank Governor Larry Roden, Sioux Falls Mayor Paul Tenhaken, and the Sioux Falls Development Foundation for paving the way for this new state-of-the-art facility. Your leadership and support have been critical to securing this investment in economic growth and prosperity in Sioux Falls, the state of South Dakota, and the Midwest region. We look forward to continuing our long-standing partnership with the Sioux Falls community and supporting the cost-efficient supply of high-quality, affordable protein to consumers throughout the United States. So thank you all for being here with us today and for your continued support of Smithfield Foods. And at this time, I'd like, would you please join me in welcoming Governor Larry Roden to the podium.
Well, thank you. Please be seated. Good morning. I am more excited beyond words at this event today, so thank you all for being here. Today is proof positive that South Dakota is open for opportunity. My administration's been working closely with the mayor's office and others for the past year to get this to the finish line. I have a pork producer, Bill Even, you saw him on the screen, as my Commissioner of Economic Development. And it's been amazing this last year when he would brief me periodically on the progress that they were making, the excitement in him. Yep, I shut it off. It got pretty quiet all of a sudden. I think this project, more than anything else, represents a quadruple win. Let me explain. Ag is king in South Dakota. So when agriculture succeeds, our whole economy in South Dakota succeeds. The existing Smithfield facility in Sioux Falls currently processes right at 20,000 hogs per day. The new facility will increase that number. And that's good news for South Dakota pork producers and the entire region. This project will expand our producers' market reach, and it will drive economic activity across the state of South Dakota. So it's a huge win for agriculture in South Dakota. And the company's decision to relocate from downtown Sioux Falls also opens up great opportunity. If you'd have told me a year ago that we'd have both the prison across the finish line and a new Smithfield plant in the works, I would have been amazed. The eastern side of the riverfront here is going to change in a dramatic, huge way. So this project represents a huge win for South Dakota. And Smithfield is choosing to do business in the greatest free estate in the nation. They're expanding in a state with the second most competitive tax climate in the nation. So this project represents a pretty clear win for the company. And finally, this project is a win for South Dakota. It's proof positive that we truly are open for opportunity. South Dakota has an incredible economy. We have the #1 lowest unemployment rate in the nation, the second the second fastest GDP growth in the nation and the third fastest growing incomes in the nation. And this announcement will mark the largest business investment in our state's history. In South Dakota, we don't settle for the way things are. We strive to do better, and we strive to pursue opportunity. And this facility achieves that mission. For all these reasons, this project is a quadruple win. A win for the company, for our ag producers, the city of Sioux Falls, and the state of South Dakota. So thank you to Smithfield for your continued investment in South Dakota. Thank you to Mayor Tenhagen and the city of Sioux Falls for embracing this generational opportunity. And I would say also, thank you, T. Denny Sanford, for your investment for the future of this state and the city of Sioux Falls. God bless you all, and may God continue to bless our great state of South Dakota. Thank you. And it is now my honor and pleasure to introduce the mayor of Sioux Falls, Mayor Tenhagen.
All right. Thank you, Governor. Good morning. Wow, what a turnout. Who would have guessed just sending out a tweet would do this? This is incredible. Man, this is a great day, you guys. I'm not at a loss for words, but because I have them in front of me, but I really am. I can't believe that we're here today and doing this. This is more than a century-old partnership that we have with Smithfield. 1909, as Shane mentioned, that John Morrell put down roots here. And Smithfield's been a great corporate partner to the city of Sioux Falls for over 115 years. Over the past 3 years alone, they've given over $2 million in cash and in-kind donations just to support our local community just in the past couple years. They're always one of our top Sioux Empire United Way givers, their organization is, which we have always appreciated. They've partnered with the Sioux Empire United Way for over 30 years, so we thank you guys for your support there as well. Obviously supported thousands of jobs in this community for over a century, and that will continue both directly and indirectly through this investment. And will help keep a diversified economy here in the city of Sioux Falls, which is so important. As Shane mentioned, $200 million in wages come out of this plant every year. And we could have easily lost this plant. I don't want to just take for granted that it was assumed that Smithfield would stay here, because it wasn't. In fact, I was actually sitting in this hotel when I got a call from Shane and Jim, and we were kind of trying to put this deal together, and it was Shane said, hey, thanks for the wastewater numbers, but I don't think this is going to work, and we got to look at maybe some other states. And so we were close, and these guys run a hard bargain, but we brought the deal together, and this partnership continued on. It's going to continue for another 100 years. And I want to foot stomp a little bit how important Smithfield is to this economy, because this past year a beef plant in Nebraska closed, a Tyson beef plant, and it employs 3,200 people, roughly the same size as our Smithfield plant. And that closure, I believe, was announced in October, November, something like that. And the University of Nebraska-Lincoln then did a study on what's the economic impact of that closure to Nebraska, to the state of Nebraska. And the impact on that closure to the state of Nebraska is $3.3 billion annually from that plant closing. So if these guys had decided to go across the border and say, hey, there's 3,200 people that just lost jobs down there, and we could easily move that plant there, $3.3 billion impact to this economy had they left. So the fact that they're staying here in this state, we just cannot thank you enough for continuing this partnership here in South Dakota. Clap for that. So there's a saying I share with my team a lot. They hear me say a lot, and that is relationships develop at the speed of trust, and you have to trust one another. And I can tell you that the trust that we established with the GoEd office, with these guys and their team, with the Sioux Falls Community Foundation, with Bill Even and the GoEd office, we just had a great partnership from the get-go, and there was just trust. It was never, even when we would meet, it wasn't the Smithfield guys on one side of the table and us on the other side of the table. We were mingled within the table even. It was just a great partnership. And so I want to thank the people that made this happen. First off, on the city team, my former chief of staff is here, Erica Beck. She helped to get this thing rolling. And then she passed the baton to my current chief of staff, Vanessa Gomez. And those two, if you don't know what a chief of staff does, they basically do everything. And so those two folks have been incredibly instrumental in this process. Mark Cotter, who is a genius with wastewater. And I don't know many people who revel in that title, but Mark does. In a project like this, wastewater is the key. And we had to find a wastewater solution. And Mark and his team worked with the Smithfield team tirelessly to find the wastewater solution that would work and would be a feasible and affordable and a realistic outcome for everyone. Jeff Eckhoff and the city planning team. How do you plan a project like this appropriately with land use and so forth? Thank you to his team. Sioux Falls Development Foundation. They are our outsourced economic development partner. Bob Munt, Mike Gray, Dean Diezik, incredible organization. To you and your board, thank you for everything. Bill Even, who I was calling him the Michael Jordan of pork, but this guy was the right guy at the right time in the GoEd office to help get this done. So Bill, thank you for all your work on this. Hunter Roberts in the A&R office, thank you for all your work. Permitting is a big deal on something like this. And then, of course, to Jim and to Shane, just thank you for the trust that you're putting in us. You know, there's just a lot of handshaking along the way on this, and that you're putting your trust in us. So thank you for that. But then we in South Dakota, we don't have a lot of incentives that we can provide for things like that. We are a low-tax state. We don't have a lot of handouts that we can provide to incentivize places like this to stay here when other states are courting them. And so I reached out to my friend T. Denny Sanford, and as part of this relocation, Denny is going to be donating $50 million to help the Sioux Falls Development Foundation take over the ownership of that site. That was the day we shook on it, Danny, that picture, and there's no going back after that. But so Denny bought a pork plant. But as a result of that, our community is going to be receiving 120 acres in the core of our downtown at the head of our namesake park, Falls Park, 120 acres. As always, the Sioux Falls Area Community Foundation, Andy Patterson, his team, they are the ones that make things like this happen. And I want you to take a look at this visual. If you take the Smithfield footprint and lay it over our existing downtown, it basically goes from Kello to start up Sioux Falls, Argus, over to the viaduct. So that's what 120 acres looks like. It's a whole nother downtown. And this new downtown on the Smithfield property will be very aptly named. We have the East Bank, we have our existing downtown, and now we're going to have the Sanford District. at this new 120 acres in honor of this great guy. So the city will be working very closely with the Development Foundation on the redevelopment of that, and don't expect that to be coming anytime soon, primarily because Smithfield needs to break ground on a plant, and then they need to build a plant. And so likely in late 2028, early 2020, I don't want to commit them to anything, but it's going to be a while. And then once that happens, we have to demo that plant, remediate that plant. And so it's going to be quite a few years before we're doing anything on that land. So I just want to keep everyone's expectations in line. It's going to be a little while, but the process is rolling. So the next administration, future leaders, you all are going to have a chance to dream and to vision and to ideate on what the future of our community can look like at the Sanford District. And so in closing, this is just a once-in-a-generation opportunity, a historic investment by Smithfield, the largest in the history of our state, the largest ever gift to the city by a man who's made the biggest impact on our state, more than any other person in the history of South Dakota. This is going to carry on long after I'm in office, and I look forward to dreaming with our residents, even though I won't be in the chair, on what this could be and what this extension of our downtown can be. So many people thought this could never happen. I certainly didn't think it could ever happen. Certainly not during my term, but I'm really honored to be here during this time and to do it with these incredible leaders that help make it happen. So this is the power of collaboration. And I want to close with the city's vision statement. We have a vision statement, and it's taking care of today for a better tomorrow. So we plant trees under whose shade we'll never sit, and today we're doing that. We're planting some trees. A lot of us will never sit under the shade in the Sanford District, but we're planting the trees today for future generations. And so to all of you who had a part of this and will have a part of it in the future, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a great day for the city of Sioux Falls. It's a great day for Smithfield. It's a great day for our state. Thank you all.